Hey everybody, good morning. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. I'm First Alert meteorologist Chandler Jordan, and all eyes are going to be turned to next week. Our First Alert weather days have gone into effect. We issued them last night, and that's going to be for frigid temperatures. The coldest air of the season so far is going to settle into the Carolinas next week, and with it, the opportunity at the return of wintry weather. Now, two guarantees for next week, one of them being morning lows are going to drop into the teens for us as we head into the middle of next week. And when you factor in the breeze that we get behind our next system, wind chills could be in the single digits next week. And we're going to have to keep a very close eye on our forecast for the opportunity at the return of wintry weather into the Carolinas. And that wouldn't take place until Tuesday evening as well as Tuesday night. And our forecast scenarios for this next system are actually a little more flip-flop than what we had last week. We still keep an eye out on an area of low pressure trying to develop in the Gulf of Mexico. However, our air mass is a lot colder this go around than what we had last week. And what that means is that the closer this low tracks to the coast, the more likely we are that we get some type of wintry precipitation. And that's going to be because we get this low to bring moisture from the Gulf or the Atlantic into the Carolinas, allowing for an increased amount of moisture to pair with this very, very cold air. If this low stays farther to the south, it brings more of this dry and cold air into the Carolinas, which in turn would greatly limit the opportunity at us to pick up on frozen or wintry precipitation once we head into the middle of next week. Here's the latest look at our two long-range pieces of computer data, and they have been very back and forth these last couple of days as far as bringing wintry moisture into the Midlands or keeping us dry. And this morning, the European model showing a little more of a wintry mix farther to the south. I'd say more so the low country. These very light shades of white, very, very minimal amounts of snow, very light snow possible. And then the GFS, which is the American-based model, showing far southern portions of the state dealing with wintry weather, but more so in the form of wintry mix. And that's going to be because we have temperatures that are going to be hovering around freezing as our moisture tries to overrun this very cold air that we have got in place as we get into the middle of next week. So just keep that in mind. Our forecast confidence has increased a little bit at the opportunity for a wintry mix next week. I think it's more so the frigid temperatures that are a guarantee. Wind chills as well into the single digits, a guarantee next week. And that's again because of what is going to be some very, very cold air that filters into the Carolinas. And as a friendly reminder, our forecast stage that we're currently in is still in the early game. I mean, we're going to have a lot that changes as far as the type of precipitation, the timing of our system. We're not even close to being able to talk about any of these things yet because we are still trend watching, and we have gone back and forth from model run to model run on if we get wintry weather or if we stay dry next week. And that's going to be the case for us as we head into the weekend. Our confidence will increase by the end of the weekend, and that's where we'll be able to get more of a forecast out as far as timing is concerned, and even the possibility of talking about amounts of wintry weather if we're able to get all of our parameters to come into play to support the opportunity for wintry weather here in South Carolina. Otherwise, it is a beautiful start to our Friday. Had a lot of clear sky to wake up with this morning, and temperatures are very cold out the door this morning. Thankfully, though, we've got more sunshine on tap today. Your forecast side temperature makes a run at 60 degrees. Can you believe it? Lots of sunshine in place, and it's going to be very nice out there. Do what you can to get outdoors and enjoy. A lot of us are making a run at 60 before it's all said and done this afternoon, and there's even more of a reason to enjoy it because once we get into this weekend, rain will return to South Carolina. A lot of us are going to get rain on Saturday morning. Once we get into the tail end of the weekend, our next cold front that's bringing us this chance at rain will start to move farther offshore, and with it lingering near the coast as we head into Saturday night and Sunday morning, a few showers will redevelop during this period of time. But again, most of our rain that we have this weekend will occur for you on Saturday morning, with us slowly drying out as the rest of the weekend proceeds. And then once we get through this weekend, the very cold Siberian air mass will settle into the Carolinas, and check this out, mornings are going to start to drop into the teens, and then our highs only in the mid and upper 30s for much of next week. And then from there, we keep a close out on Tuesday evening and into Tuesday night for the opportunity at a wintry mix to return to the Carolinas as our next system tries to develop and roll through. Here's a look at your First Alert 10-day forecast. Beautiful today. Take advantage of it because it changes fast. This weekend, we get rain mainly Saturday morning. Showers will be slow to get out of here through the rest of your weekend. And then next week, First Alert weather days will kick off for the opportunity at this very cold air that we have in place, especially the middle of next week. That's where we're going to be the coldest with lows in the teens and highs only in the mid and upper 30s. And thankfully, though, we've got some indications towards the end of next week and especially by next weekend where some warmer air tries to filter into the region, bringing with it temperatures that'll start to climb into the 40s as well as into the 50s. For your latest forecast update, you can always head over to our website. That's WISTV.com. We've got your First Alert weather tab and your First Alert forecast at your convenience. We've got a rotating article, your hour-by-hour forecast. We've got First Alert radar, and if you ever need a quick look at your First Alert 10-day forecast, you can do all of this by checking it out again on our website, WISTV.com. For the entire First Alert weather team, I'm First Alert meteorologist Chandler Jordan. Make sure you stay right there. We'll have what's new for you this Friday morning coming up in just a few moments.